Hi, my name is Mrs. Brown, and I am a teacher here at Metropolitan Business Academy, and I'm also a senior advisor.
My name is Justin DeCoste. I'm a senior at Metropolitan Business Academy. Yeah.
And we're here to talk about the portfolio process. So, portfolios are a big part of being at Metro because every school is required to have a capstone project that seniors complete in order to graduate. And so that process spans a whole 4 year process, beginning with freshman year. So, Justin, can you tell me, freshman year, how did the portfolio process start for you?
So freshman year, you don't really know anything about the competency. So really, freshman year writing workshop, she's pretty much like teaching you on the competency because we don't really know what it is. Um, and then we created a website on all six. It's six, right?
Mhm.
Six competencies. And we put information on each slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about the competencies. These are our 21st century competencies, and there's six of them. And there are six skills that we would like to see graduates be able to be proficient in and exemplary in our mastery-based grading scale. And
Mhm.
so you chose some work from your
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah, freshman year I was really putting anything because like I didn't really know what they meant for real. I remember putting like a picture of my controller because I used to game a lot. So
So
as the
begin,
years went
yeah.
on though, I expanded on that stuff and like made it like look better, sound better.
So freshman year is the exploration year
Yeah.
of how you're meeting the competencies and you're growing through your process. And
Hmm.
then sophomore year kind of transforms a little bit. You've grown after a year.
Hmm. A little bit,
A little
yeah,
bit, yeah.
yeah.
And then junior year, you start thinking about senior year. So in junior year, when you're doing the SLC process or the student-led conference process, can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, junior year I started to like use try to get my best work just in case I need to use it for my senior year. Also junior year you have to start thinking about colleges. You're also putting that into your senior portfolios, like your plans, internships, community service. Just making sure you have like almost all that stuff done. Because once you get to your senior year, you're not gonna have that much time to be doing all that stuff. So your junior year, senior portfolios are really just getting you like ready for your senior year. I feel
And you talked about work. What type of work are you looking at
like.
when you're putting into your portfolio and you want to show other people? When you say work, is it any type of work? Like what type of things can you choose to be in a portfolio?
Oh, like projects, essays, your tests. Like if you got a good grade on a test. If you do like any like activities at school, like for example FBLA or pretty much anything. If it just goes with the competency, you could put anything you want
Yeah.
as long as it makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
And
yeah.
then senior year is the wrap up. So you looking back at your last few years, you're thinking about your best project or your test or your essay or work.
Hmm.
How is a senior advisor, and as an advisee, how is a senior advisor really helpful to your process?
Um, for every advisory that we have, we look over all the competencies. We um, we look over like all of our work and we try to see like which one gonna make it to the final portfolio. Um, it's really good to look at your past SLCs to see what you put on that. That's why it's really important to put your best work
Mhm.
on the SLCs. And then really just you're putting your best work and you're just making it creative and make it so that it makes most sense to the competency. So we go over the rubric, we look at the words and stuff that they use on the rubric, and we try to put that
Mhm.
onto our portfolios.
And
Um,
I'd say that's where the advisor is the most helpful.
yeah,
Is you're putting together the work, you can make a slideshow, but when it for our portfolios, we have our students really defend their work, and that means they talk about their work in a certain focus and being able to say how they rate themselves on their work and why they rate themselves that way. And so each competency has a different focus, like communication and collaboration.
yeah,
So if you're choosing a best work for that and you're choosing a rating and you have to focus that writing piece on that rating, a senior advisor can really help to pick in and set
right,
to jump in and say, hey, yes, this meets it or it doesn't meet it, or you should add this
right,
or shouldn't add this.
yeah.
and to look it over. And then finally at the end, when your portfolio is done, what happens? You present
Oh,
it.
oh, oh. Yeah, you present it, and if you do good, you pass. You
Yeah.
know, you get to go on and get your gap and gown.
And you invite family and
Yeah, yeah,
friends, and it's a big senior defense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, I don't know if I can say this, but this year's senior portfolio I feel like was harder than like previous years. Cause I think that last year we didn't have like the panel thing and like the grading thing.
So this year, students had to defend their portfolio in front of a panel of their advisor and other teachers.
Yeah,
And every panelist had a rubric and had to check off material from the
yeah,
portfolio. So it was a rigorous process.
yeah. Cause previous years I would see like a senior um present their portfolios and it was just like them presenting it and that's it. For mine, I was getting asked all these questions on the spot and I really had to like it really like instead like I really had to like critically think on what I'm gonna say in that moment. And yeah,
But then you pass,
yeah,
and it's a really wonderful feeling.
yeah, thank God I passed. I thought I was gonna pass. Yeah, yeah.
Did you get a chance to go over your portfolio, to practice it in front of other people?
Yeah, I did it with friends in the library. We went over our slides, making sure like we're not just reading the slides, but we're also looking at the people who are we're presenting it to. It's not just like we're just reading something and like we're not engaging with the people. Um, then yeah, that's pretty much it.
Would you have any advice for freshmen or underclassmen who are about to go through this process? Would you have any advice for them?
Um, I feel like from your freshman year, start trying to put your best work onto your SOCs because it's gonna get hard trying to go and look back at the previous years trying to find work because it's all like buried in your Google Drive. It's gonna be really hard to find it. So if you really have it on your SOCs, it makes it so much easier. And start looking at the rubric low key because you don't want to be scrambling senior year trying to make sure your rubric, everything you have matches the rubric. So start looking over and making sure like you're meeting the requirements.
So really, advisory is the time that our portfolios and our portfolio work lives in, and so it's really important that you are communicating with your advisor or with a trusted adult or a teacher about your portfolio. It's really important to ask questions, to seek help, to go through the rubric together, to have someone look over your work, see if your reflections and your ideas are meeting the rubric. That's our process and our role here as teachers and as advisors is to really help the students walk through each step, to know what's expected of them, to look over their work together, and to make it a collaborative process.